In the far edge of the known galaxy, the Zorvian Empire ruled in silence. Their fleets controlled hundreds of systems, and no enemy had challenged them for centuries. Their commanders believed fear was enough to keep order. On a quiet cycle, deep inside the Empire's outer sector, long-range sensors detected something strange. At first, it looked like empty space. No energy spike, no warp signal, no warning at all. Then the shadow appeared. A single object moved slowly through the void, massive and calm. It was larger than any ship the Zorvian Empire had ever built. Its shape was sharp and solid, like it was carved from dark metal. The sensor officers froze. They checked the data again and again. The readings did not change. This ship was real. Alarms echoed across the command station. Officers rushed to their posts. Fleet commanders were summoned in panic. The unknown ship crossed the sector border without resistance. No shields were raised, no weapons were powered. It did not act like an invader. That made it worse. The Empire had faced pirates and rebels before. Those enemies attacked fast and loud. This ship moved with confidence, as if nothing in the sector could stop it. The Zorvian High Commander stared at the main screen. His voice was tight with fear. He ordered a full scan. The results shocked everyone. The ship's hull density was off the scale. Its power core output was beyond known limits. Its shield systems were inactive, yet sensors could not read inside. This was not a mistake. This was design. A junior officer whispered a question no one wanted to ask. Who built this? The Empire searched its archives. No match was found. No alien race in the records could create something like this. As the ship moved closer, a symbol became visible on its side. Simple letters, clean and bold. HFS Vengeance. The name meant nothing to the Empire, but it would soon mean everything. Across nearby systems, civilian traffic stopped. Mining stations went dark. Colony worlds prepared for evacuation. Fear spread faster than any signal. Rumors moved through the stars. A silent giant had entered the Empire's space. The ship did not change speed. It did not respond to hails. It did not acknowledge threats. Zorvian warfleets formed defensive lines. Thousands of ships waited with weapons ready, yet none dared to fire first. The unknown battleship passed them without turning, as if they were not even there. Inside the Empire's capital, the High Council gathered in emergency session. Voices argued and overlapped. Some demanded an immediate attack. Others warned that this ship was beyond their understanding. Then something happened that silenced the room. The human ship adjusted its course, just slightly. It aligned itself with the Empire's core worlds, not in an attack position, but in clear view. It wanted to be seen. A single transmission channel opened. No message came through, only an open signal, waiting. The Empire realized the truth too late. This ship did not come to conquer. It came to announce something far more dangerous. Somewhere inside the dark hole of the HFS Vengeance, human eyes watched calmly. They were not afraid. They were patient, and the galaxy was about to learn why humans never needed many ships. Only one. Fear spreads through the Empire. The open signal from the human battleship stayed active. No words, no sound, only silence. For the Zorvian Empire, that silence was terrifying. Across the outer sector, panic began to grow. Command stations sent urgent reports to the capital. Fleet leaders demanded answers that no one could give. The High Council ordered a full empire-wide alert. Defense levels were raised to maximum. All shipyards were placed on emergency lockdown. For the first time in centuries, the Zorvian Empire felt unsure. Scouts were sent to observe the human ship from a safe distance. None of them came closer than allowed. The battleship did not react. It did not chase them. It did not threaten them. It simply existed. That made the fear worse. In the Empire's data vaults, ancient records were searched. Old wars, lost races, forgotten enemies, anything that could explain the ship. One name appeared again and again. Humans. The records described humans as divided, emotional, and weak. A young species from a distant part of the galaxy. Not worth attention. The Council stared at the words in silence. Nothing about the HFS Vengeance matched those records. If humans were weak, this ship would not exist. As news spread, other alien empires began to watch. Long-range sensors picked up the massive human vessel. Messages crossed neutral space, filled with worry and questions. Who were the humans really, and why had they entered the Zorvian Empire's sector? On frontier worlds, civilians packed their belongings. Transport ships filled beyond safe limits. Entire cities prepared to flee. The Empire tried to control the panic, Official broadcasts spoke of calm and strength. Few believed them. Zorvian soldiers watched the sky from defense platforms, their weapons locked on the distant shape of the human ship. Their hands shook despite years of training. The human battleship moved again, slowly, carefully. It passed another major fleet position. The fleet commanders waited for orders to attack. Those orders never came. Every commander knew the truth. If they fired and failed, the Empire would fall. Inside the capital, the High Council argued without end. Some leaders demanded a preemptive strike. Others warned that the humans were testing them. One elder spoke softly. If this ship wanted us dead, we would already be gone. The room fell silent. At the edge of the system, the HFS Vengeance finally changed its behavior. Power levels shifted. Unknown systems came online. Empire sensors struggled to understand what they were seeing. The ship was not preparing for battle. It was preparing to speak. A warning signal echoed across all military channels. The human transmission was about to begin. Across the galaxy, countless eyes turned toward the Zorvian Empire. Everyone felt it. Something historic was about to happen. The Empire had ruled through fear for generations. Now fear had found them, and it wore a human name. The human message, the warning signals spread through every Zorvian system. Military channels opened on their own. Civil networks followed seconds later. For the first time in history, the entire Empire was forced to listen. The human battleship HFS Vengeance did not raise weapons. It did not move closer. It simply waited. Then the signal changed. A calm human voice filled the air. It was clear, steady, and controlled. There was no anger in it. That frightened the listeners more than rage ever could. This is Captain Elias Rourke of the Human Federation ship Vengeance. My words are meant for the Zorvian High Council, and for anyone else who is listening. Across command centers and city worlds, silence followed. No one dared to interrupt. We did not come here for conquest. We did not come here for territory. Some Zorvian leaders relaxed for a brief moment. That moment did not last. We came because 1 year ago, a human colony vanished. It was located near your outer patrol routes. Our people were farmers, engineers, children. The captain paused. The silence felt heavy. Your records list the event as an asteroid accident. Our investigation proved otherwise. Images appeared on shared screens. Wreckage of civilian habitats, energy signatures matching Zorvian weapons. Fear returned, stronger than before. We sent messages. We asked for answers. We received silence. The human voice remained calm, but something cold moved beneath it. Humans are patient. We believe in law. We believe in peace. The Zorvian High Council watched in growing dread, but we also believe that no life is small, and no crime is forgotten. The battleship powered up a small section of its systems, not weapons, memory core. Names began to scroll across the screens. Thousands of human names, families, ages, final recorded messages. Zorvian citizens watched in horror. This was not a threat. It was a reminder. Captain Rourke continued. You thought humans were weak because we avoided war. You thought silence meant fear. The ship's massive shadow drifted across a nearby star, darkening it for a moment. Silence was restraint. Fleet commanders swallowed hard. They understood now. We built this ship not to destroy empires, but to make sure they listen. The human captain's tone sharpened slightly. Just enough. We are not here to punish your people. We are here to correct your leadership. A single sentence followed. Simple and clear. You will answer for what happened. No threats of planet destruction were spoken. No countdowns were given. Yet the weight of the message crushed every listener. The transmission ended as calmly as it began. The channel closed. The HFS Vengeance remained in place. Silent once more. Inside the Zorvian capital, no one spoke for a long time. They had expected rage. They had expected demands. Instead, they were given truth. The Empire had made a mistake, not by attacking humans, but by believing humans would forget. Across the galaxy, other races took careful notes. They saw what the Zorvians now understood. Humans did not shout. Humans did not rush. When humans arrived, it was already too late. The Empire's Mr. K after the human message ended. Silence ruled the Zorvian capital. No alarms, no voices, no movement. Fear pressed down on every leader in the High Council chamber. They had heard the truth, and they had no answer ready. Some council members wanted to speak to the humans. Others wanted to hide the truth from their people. A few still believed force was the only solution. Among them was Fleet General Kravix, a veteran of many wars. He believed fear must be answered with strength. "The humans threaten our authority," he said. "If we do nothing, we appear weak." Several leaders warned him. The human ship had not attacked. It had shown control, not fear. Kravix ignored them. Without full council approval, he sent a private order to a nearby battle group. A limited strike, one warning shot. He believed the human ship would retreat. In the outer sector, Zorvian cruisers powered their main cannons. Energy levels rose. Target locks formed around the HFS Vengeance. For the first time since its arrival, the human battleship reacted. Its surface lights shifted. Its internal systems awakened. Zorvian sensors screamed in confusion. New shield layers appeared where none existed before. Space itself seemed to bend around the ship. The order to fire was given. Bright energy beams crossed the void. They struck the human battleship directly. Nothing happened. The beams vanished against an invisible barrier. No explosion, no damage. The Zorvian fleet froze. Then the HFS Vengeance responded. Not with missiles, not with planet killers. A single focused pulse of energy spread outward. It moved like a silent wave, passing through Zorvian ships without heat or fire. Seconds later, chaos erupted. Engines shut down. Weapon systems went dark. Communication links collapsed. Entire fleets were left drifting, powerless, alive, but helpless. No Zorvian ship was destroyed. No lives were taken. That fact terrified the Empire more than any massacre could have. The human battleship had shown restraint and absolute dominance in the capital. Emergency reports flooded the council chamber. Fleet after fleet disabled, no casualties. General Kravix stood in shock. His decision had failed completely. Before anyone could speak, a new human transmission opened. Only to the High Council this time. Captain Rourke's voice returned, calm but cold. "This action was not authorized by your people, but it was your responsibility." The words cut deep. "We warned you. You chose to test us." Images followed. Real-time views of disabled Zorvian fleets. Every ship intact. Every crew alive. "This is what mercy looks like," the captain said. The message ended. Outside, the HFS Vengeance remained unmoved, untouched, unchallenged. The High Council understood the truth at last. The humans had not come to destroy the Empire. They had come to remove its ability to resist. General Kravix was arrested on the spot, not to satisfy the humans, but to save what little authority remained across the galaxy. Observers watched the recordings in silence. They saw something new, a power that did not need to kill to win. The Zorvian Empire had ruled through fear for centuries. In one moment, that fear had been turned against them, and the humans were still waiting. A new fear in the galaxy. The Zorvian High Council met one final time under the shadow of defeat. No weapons were raised, no plans of resistance remained. The Empire sent its response to the HFS Vengeance, a full admission, a full surrender. They accepted responsibility for the destroyed human colony. They offered access to all records. They agreed to face human judgment. The human battleship answered within moments. Captain Rourke's voice was calm once more. "Your cooperation has been noted. This conflict ends today." Across the Empire, disabled fleets slowly regained basic power. Just enough to move, just enough to survive. The message was clear. This mercy could be taken back at any time. Human investigators arrived days later. Not soldiers, not conquerors. They collected evidence. They recorded testimonies. They named the guilty. The Zorvian people watched in disbelief. They had expected destruction. They received justice instead. General Kravix and those responsible were removed from power, placed under human custody, to stand trial for their actions. The HF's Vengeance remained in orbit until the process was complete. A silent reminder, a watchful eye. Then, without ceremony, the massive battleship began to move. It turned away from the Empire's core worlds. Its engines glowed softly. No victory speech was given. No threats followed. The ship simply left. News of the event spread faster than any fleet could travel. Every major power in the galaxy took notice. Every military doctrine was rewritten. Empires learned a new rule that day. Humans do not rush to war, but when they arrive, the decision is already made. On distant worlds, alien leaders whispered the name of the ship with fear and respect. HFS Vengeance, the Zorvian Empire survived, but it was changed forever. Fear was no longer its weapon. Accountability was. As the human battleship vanished into deep space, one final truth remained. The galaxy did not fear human fleets. It feared human restraint, because everyone now understood. Humans did not need many ships, only one. Long after the HFS Vengeance left Zorvian space, its presence was still felt. Trade routes reopened, fleets returned to their docks, life slowly moved forward, but nothing felt the same across the galaxy. Military academies replayed the recordings again and again. They studied every second of the human ship's movement, every choice the humans made. They did not study destruction, they studied restraint. Alien leaders met in secret councils. Old rivalries were paused. Old wars were delayed. No one wanted to be the next example. In neutral space, a shared message began to circulate. It did not come from humans, it came from fear. Do not test them. The Zorvian Empire issued new laws. Civilian worlds were placed under protection. Military commanders were given limits they never had before. Power was no longer absolute. On a distant human world, Captain Rourke stood in a quiet hall. Names were carved into a long stone wall. The names of the lost colony. He said nothing. He did not need to. The mission was complete. The message was delivered. Elsewhere, deep in uncharted space, human shipyards continued their work. Not building fleets, not preparing invasions. They prepared reminders. Observers from other races watched human space carefully. They noticed something strange. Humans returned to normal life. They traded, they explored, they laughed, as if nothing had happened. That fact disturbed the galaxy more than the battleship ever had, because it proved one thing clearly. The HFS Vengeance was not a special weapon. It was a standard response. A single human ship had rewritten galactic behavior, without conquest, without occupation. And somewhere in the vast dark between stars, a quiet understanding spread. If humans ever arrive in silence, if they bring only one ship, then the time for choices is already over.